everyone, it's Louise with louisemckayart, and welcome to my channel. I'm glad you're here, and I'm diving straight in, and I have to do voiceover for the whole thing, or fast forward, or cutting out, because I have music playing in the background, and I can't have that on YouTube, as I've mentioned before. So anyway, here I am. I'm going to be working on a swipe, and I'm letting you know I'm using my Glidden GLN6011N for my pillow, and I'm trying to replace that failed swipe there with a new swipe. So I just skipped right through all of the stretching out of the pillow paint, and I'm going to get diving right into laying down the colors. I'm also going to let you know that this is a longer video because I do include the resining process, and I had a failed resin pour to start with because I was trialing a different resin and it didn't quite work. And if you're new here, I ask that you consider subscribing. I have a lot of videos, a lot of different tutorials with different types of functional art. So I'm going to cut past some of the stretching out, and I'm going to get right into business. So everyone, as I lay down the colors, I'm going to go on hyper speed here. So the first color, this yellow, is ColorArt's Lemonade with Amsterdam's Naples Yellow and Golden's Primary Yellow. This purple here is Atelier's Dioxazine Purple with Deco Art's Extreme Sheen Amethyst. This next color, this lavender color, is actually Artez's Pearl Lilac. The next color I've got coming up is Golden's Green Gold with Golden's Sap Green Hue. And then after this, we have this limey colored green, and that is Pebio's Iridescent Green Yellow combined with Amsterdam's Greenish Yellow. I don't know why I combined these two colors. I guess I just wanted a certain hue to go with the rest of the color palette. Or maybe I had some leftover paint, I don't know. But either which way, those are the two colors. This color here is an Easy One's TLP Athena to bring a little pinkness to the piece. And then the last color I'm going to lay down is a strange color combination. It's Amsterdam's Caput Mortem Violet with Deco Art's Rose Quartz and a little bit of Golden's Carbon Black to darken it up a bit. I'm sorry for all the combinations, but I was trying to salvage paints and use paints up before they went bad. So now onto the cell activator. So now we are onto the cell activator, and I'm going to be fast forwarding through a lot of this and voicing over and probably playing some music. But first of all, what I have here is my American Floetrol cell activator recipe 141, and that pink that I have is Amsterdam's Venetian Rose. And the white that I have there is Australian Floetrol cell activator titanium white. I'm going to clean the area real quick, and then I'll get started. So here I'm getting ready to show you the different acetate swipers that I have. And so basically I got a piece of acetate, cut it up into different sizes so that as I swipe this out, I have various sizes in the piece that I'm creating. So before I even get down to swiping, I'm going to spin this out a little bit just to get it to stretch so that the center colors can stretch out to all sides, and then I'll have a full canvas to work on. So all I'm doing through here is spinning, and I'll be back when it's fully spun out. So as I go through this swiping process, I'm going to go on real time to start with. And what I'm doing here is I'm laying down the Venetian Rose first, and then I'm going to lay down some of the white on top of that. I'm going to pick my spot in the center of the color that's laid down in the middle, and we're going to lay out our first swipe. And as we go through, I'm going to speed up and cut out some of the cleanup in between. You'll certainly get the gist of what we're doing, but I have to do this to save time. But yeah, the important part here is you lay that acetate swiper down and get it into the paint, and then apply some steady pressure as you pull that acetate through all the paint. And as we get going, I'm going to cut out some of the cleanup portion and probably even some of the swipes because there are a lot. So I'm getting ready for my second swipe. I'm going to lay down the cell activator with the Venetian Rose down first and then the white down second. And what I wanted to say last time is as you're pulling the swiper through the paint, you want to make sure you have steady pressure and steady speed. Because if you hesitate even a hitch, the finished swipe will show a little hitch in it and you can't avoid it. So here we go again. And the other point I want to make is you pull that swiper through, steady pressure, steady speed. You want to make sure to also take it all the way off the edge and let the paint go down the sides. So this is what I'm going to be doing throughout the whole piece, and I'll be varying the sizes, typically going from the larger size like I have here to a smaller size until I get it fully swiped out to my satisfaction. So this would be the last swipe I do on real time, and then I'll be fast forwarding or cutting out some of the swipes altogether because I've got to try to keep this video to a reasonable length. So here I am putting that pressure down into the paint in the center, and then I'm dragging it across the pillow. Steady pressure, steady speed, all the way off the edge. So from this point forward through the rest of the swiping, I'm just going to show you the swipes, and I'll put on some music in the meantime. So after all of this, I'm ready to go on to the next phase of this production. All right, everyone, so I'm back. I'm going to be laying down the flowers again. And this is kind of where I'm thinking they're going to go. And the fact of the matter is, you know, my cells are not bad. But I just like the idea of having the flowers in there after doing the last one. It was so pretty. So this time I'm going to add a couple little dried leaves. And I got one down here because I got a little secret. I dripped a little cell activator and I was hoping it was going to dry, and it didn't dry very well. So yeah, I'm just going to cover that bad boy up just like that. Okay, I'm going to be back. I'm going to flip you around and we're going to get varnishing this on there. I'm using my matte varnish as like a glue and adhesive, and I'm going to be applying with a little brush, and I'll probably fast forward through this, but you get the idea of what I'm doing. All right, everybody, I'm back and I'm all ready to go. So I'm just going to dip my little brush in there, get some varnish applied, and then we're going to get my flowers and start laying them down. I got to be pretty good about where I'm laying them. Let me just touch up the back of this thing. I've never applied these guys before. And I don't think it has to be perfect, it just has to be close. Just get some varnish on there, lay it down, get it pretty close to where I want it. And there we go. Next one. Get it pretty close. Tap it down. And then I'm going to keep going like this all the way to the end. Okay, I'll bring you back when I'm about done, but this is all I'm going to do all the way across to include this guy down here. So I'm continuing along here. I got a little crowded, so I'm going to have to add another one. But I just wanted to point out that I got all these. Actually, my daughter sent me a bunch of these for Mother's Day. But yeah, I got these off of Amazon. And they're just dried flowers. You just purchase them. And yeah. So I might add. You gotta be really careful with these things. They're so fragile. Yeah. I think I'll put that one in there. Okay, so let's move this out of the way. Yeah, I'm always abbreviating my videos, and people are telling me to just let them play, so I'm letting it play, and you guys can decide whether you want to scroll through this or what. So yeah, I'm just dampening the back. Once again, this is the matte varnish. It doesn't matter what varnish you have, because I'm going to be resining over the top. Oh, I think I just broke it. I got to be gentle. I'm going to be resining over the top of this anyway. So get this out of the way. I don't want that to start sticking. But I do want to secure these really well, because I don't want to have any air bubbles underneath. All right, now we get this guy. And then I'm going to add a little varnish over here. Get these guys fully secured. And then, like I say, we'll let this dry. And then I'll varnish. Then I'll resin it. This little guy. Yeah, I thought I didn't swipe again over here because I thought it was gonna maybe be interesting. And yeah, didn't work out so well. So we give it a little bloom flower. Okay. That's where we are, everybody. All right. That's where we are, and I'll be back for a part 2, I think, with the resining. One thing I do want to point out, when I taped this time, let me show you. The cradle board looks like this. Got a nice little wood side here. So this time, what I did, and I'm pointing this out now because it'll be important when I resin. Why is there drips over here? When I pull the tape off, I'm going to have the painting going over the side, the edge, and the resin will go over the edge as well, which will make the edge a nicer lay for the resin. Because last time I did this, I taped it right up to the top. And my resin, when I peeled off the tape, it didn't lay nice and smooth over the edge. So this way, I've got the painting going over the edge, plus the resin will be going over the edge with it nice and smooth. So there shouldn't be any interruptions in how it lays at the edge. Just a point I'm going to point out now that I think will help me when I go to resin this probably tomorrow. All right, I'll be back for that part. So I wanted to leave this in to show you guys what happens when you use a resin that's not intended for this purpose. This resin I used was apparently intended for molds, not for tabletops or flat surfaces like this is. So what happened, and I couldn't stop it, is I kept having resin pulling from the edge, even 5 minutes in, as I was starting to lay the resin down, I could see that that was going to happen. And what I ended up doing after 18 minutes of fighting this, I ended up just letting it go. All right, everyone, I'm back. I don't have a mask on. I do have the door open and the window open, and I have good ventilation. I have 180 milliliters here. For these two pieces, this is 14 inches, that's 10. Let's get started. Now, hopefully this KS resin will save the day. Just so you know, if you go to my description, I do have a 10% discount code for KS resin. You get 10% off, I get 5% back toward my future resin purchases, and everyone wins. So I'm going to stretch this out. Hopefully I can get to this clock too that I need a resin, but I won't show you that part. I like to stretch it out from the center with the spatula. It's a nice flat surface. So as you can see, I'm using the spatula to get it toward the edges, and then I use the spatula to push it up to the edge and go all the way around. It's pretty reliable, covers everything. Not sure what that is. Got some goober in there. Oh, it's air bubble. I'll get that later. Just want to make sure I have enough. My stomach is growling. I'm gonna add some more. And if you're wondering what that chirpy sound is, it is the ambient sound from outside. Don't know if I'm gonna have enough for that again. I think I'm miscalculating here. But most importantly is getting this one properly resined, as it did not go to the edges. Just like when I'm blowing out my bloom, I work very slowly and meticulously with the resin as well, making sure to get it fully to the edges before I go over the edge, and I'm going to show you what I do for that as well. Having good lighting is very important here. I have two lights backlighting this, so when I look at it, I can see that if there's any bubbles or any stray pieces of dust in there as well. Maybe I just need more than I think. And just to be fair here, I am using the exact same amount, 160 milliliters, as I did yesterday. Push it all over the edge, all over the edge. With my finger, just gonna roll it over. Oh, good Lord, there's a bug that just flew in here. Not good. Do not want to have a bug landing into this thing. If he does, I'll see him. That's the good news. How much do I have here? 1.5 ounces. Hey, how many milliliters is 1.5 ounces?
1.5 fluid ounces is about 44.4 milliliters. By the way, you have a new notification. Do you want to hear it?
That's not going to be enough to cover that, so I'm going to have to wait on that one. So let me just lay down the rest. So just to reiterate here, I'm taking my finger and rolling it over the edge, just like water flowing over a waterfall. At least I'll know I did what I could here. It's weird that this is taking so much. Maybe this is bigger than I think it is. Get it over the edge. There goes my stomach again. Yeah. Okay, I think I got good coverage. Wish I had a coaster to put the rest of this on. Let's put it over the middle. I hate to just kind of throw it down like this, but I might as well. Any extra will just go off. Most importantly is that I get every edge covered. All right, we're gonna hit it with a torch. I'll need to hit it a couple times, it looks like. But I'll tell you what, that's got good coverage. I knew yesterday I had a problem because my edges were just, I laid it down and it just kept creeping back in. I can assure myself this is going to be a better answer. Okay, I'm gonna take a break and I'll probably come back for the next torch. But you've seen essentially what I do. What I'll do in the next few minutes, I'll clean up the stick and cup, and I'll come back and I'll retorch where it's starting to have bubbles come up here. Keep my eye out for a bug, and I'll be back. So I decided to take out the other torching. I ended up torching it 3 times, and then I'll be back with the final completed piece. So everyone, that's a wrap, and I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm practically jumping for joy over here with how beautiful this turned out. And I'm so happy with how I taped this off. The painting went over the edge, the resin covered that painting part perfectly, right up to the wood and the cradle board. I love this. So if you're new here and you liked what you saw, please subscribe, hit the bell and all, leave a comment. I get back to everybody, and also hit me with a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. If you like this, share with your friends. I'm trying to grow this channel. I'd really appreciate all of your support. Also, be sure to check out my playlist. I have all my creations broken down by category. That's all for now, everybody. Take care. Till next time.